In this lesson, I want to talk about split testing your listings in order to improve conversion rate or to improve your overall profit. Now, after you create your listing, what happens is most people, they just put it up, they set it and they forget it and they never really go back to optimize it. However, one of the most important parts as far as where you rank or if you're getting impressions through PPC is the conversion rate of your listing. So optimizing the conversion rate is very important. But if you're familiar with e-commerce at all, oftentimes it's really difficult to predict which types of pictures or descriptions or text lead to the best conversion rates or what the best price is to lead to the max amount of profits. So what split testing is you're able to test two different choices. So I have like an A variant and a B variant, or a control and a variant from there. And what happens is it shows the first one, and then the next day it shows the second one, and back and forth. Now, if you're familiar with A/B testing, like on a website, it's a little bit different. Like each visitor can show a piece of content to. But on Amazon, unfortunately, we only get sessions and conversions data on a 24-hour basis. So what it does is it shows one variant for a 24-hour period and then another variant for the next 24-hour period. Now, if you're to this point and you'd like to start improving your listings in order to improve the conversion rate, there's two ways you could go about it. The first way is to go about it the manual way. So every day you could go in there and you could alternate a photo or alternate a piece of text, and you could do that for a couple weeks and then go back and look at your numbers in Seller Central and see which ones of those variants led to a higher conversion rate or more sales. That's obviously a little tedious, so some people instead choose to use a tool called Splitly, and I'll just briefly walk you through that tool and talk a little bit about why you may want to use it. I'm inside of the Splitly dashboard now, and there's a few different things that I can do in this tool. The two that are kind of most important, or that you should care about most, is the A/B test and Profit Peak. We'll start with the A/B test since this lesson is primarily about split testing. So what I can do is I can click into the A/B test. I can create a test. I'll choose which product I want to do it with. We'll choose these marshmallow sticks. And it's asking me what I want to optimize. Now, the two areas that are going to make a big difference are your images and primarily the image that shows up on the search results page and the pricing. These other ones like title or features or description or back-end search terms, none of those make that much of a difference. I've tried a lot of different split testing, and I found that most of these don't make much of a difference, but the pricing and the images can make a big difference. So for this example, I'll do images. I put in my unit cost. I can name this. I don't really need to worry about the advanced settings right now, as long as you have, let's see, yep, all those are fine. And then what I can do is I can see this is the variant A and this is the variant B. So for variant B, instead of this marshmallow stick, so I can delete my main image, I can click on this and I can upload a different main image. So after that uploads, what you'll see is that my variant A, this is my control, this is what I currently have on my listing, and my variant B now has a different main image. I can preview those real quick and you can see what I'm talking about. So it highlights what's different. So, over here is my main. Here I have a different main image. Let's click out of that. And then I can save and run. So now what's going to happen is Splitly is going to alternate those two images for me on a 24-hour basis. It takes at minimum about 2 weeks. And if it's a slower selling product, it takes a little bit longer, like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. But what's going to happen is Splitly is going to tell me what the difference is in my conversion rate or my sales for the control versus the new image that I'm running. Now, as you can imagine, if you continue to optimize these listings and continue to try different images or different pricings, over time, you can create a listing that either gets clicked on or converts at a much higher rate than what your original one does. One of the things that I've learned about split testing is really hard to know before you start which one's gonna perform better, and that's why split testing is so powerful. Real quickly, I will go into a test that I historically ran, and I'll show you a little bit what the results look like. Here's some tests that have ended, and I'll just click on one of these. For this particular one, I'll show you the differences. So we're testing this image that has a little cute baby in it versus one that just shows the product. And what happened was my average daily sales went down from 7.6 to 5.2. Profit went down from $40 to $27, and the conversion rate dipped as well. So I got about as many sessions, but the conversion rate for that particular one dipped. So as you can see, for this one, I would want to stick with the original control because the new one that I tested performed worse than what the control did. Now, of course, sometimes the variant that you test performs better than the control, and that's when you would want to keep that particular one. So I typically use the A/B test when testing images. You can also use it for testing price, but let me show you one other thing real quickly called Profit Peak, which I prefer for price testing over an A/B test. To get there, I just click on Profit Peak up here. Select some products to run. We'll try these, well, let's try the baby towels this time. And as you can see, this one looks a little bit more sophisticated. So I need to tell them what my minimum and maximum price that I'm willing to go. And what I recommend on this is set your lower threshold at like the minimum amount of profit that you're willing to accept and your maximum threshold at something quite a bit higher. So right now it's priced at $18.95, excuse me, it's currently priced at $19.95. So let's say I'm willing to go all the way up to $29.95. This is how much the unit costs. So I'll save these settings. And then I can go ahead and turn this on. All right, now what's gonna happen, and you can see it a little bit right here, is Profit Peak is going to test different prices for me automatically. So each day, or even multiple times per day, Profit Peak's going to adjust my price, and it's going to see what price my particular product performs best at. Now, what most people find is that actually a higher price will lead to increased profit, even if it means overall lower unit sales. But what Profit Peak does is it tries a higher price, then a lower price, and then it keeps adjusting over time to find the optimal price for your particular product. Since it knows how well your product's selling, it knows the sessions and conversions rates, as well as your unit costs, it's able to automatically optimize that for you, and you don't have to remember to go in there and do the changes or the adjustments to your price, and as a result, usually get better results. So that wraps up this particular lesson. If there's any takeaways here, is that I would recommend split testing your images because that usually leads to improved conversion rates. And then if you would like to work on improving your price, I would recommend using Profit Peak to do so, as opposed to just using kind of like your gut feelings of what price you think might be the best. Thanks.